So we're back on the charts, and what I have in front of me is Euro USD on a weekly time frame. However, I want to show you something on the monthly. Okay, so far we haven't yet reached this monthly imbalance. So this is something I'm potentially looking for the market to do in this week. Now I'm gonna mark this as my buy side liquidity because I'm expecting it to get taken out. Okay, so we've broken the structure down. The price is trying to reach this supply area before it goes into an uptrend. So before we break these highs, it's really hard to say if we are in an uptrend because so far what the monthly chart shows us is that we're still in a bearish trend. Okay, so overall, once we reach this supply area, I'm going to be looking for confirmations on higher time frame that are going to suggest to us that we are going back down, or if the price doesn't really show any strong momentum that's going to shift the price, then that means we're going to be looking for buys. Now, let's focus on what matters today and this week. As we said, overall, we're expecting the price to reach this imbalance because we're so close to it, and what the market is designed to do is take out imbalances, buy side, sell side liquidity, highs and lows, and these type of structures. So let's go on a weekly time frame and see what's happening there as well. Now, what do we see on the weekly chart is that we have another imbalance right here. However, I'm not expecting the market to reach this area this week, and the reason for this is because we're in a strong bullish scenario, meaning that the price has so much momentum pushing it higher that it won't really have that momentum to push it all the way to this area. Now we can get a pullback all the way to here once we reach this imbalance, once we reach this supply area on higher time frames. However, so far, I'm really expecting the market to retrace back to this 4-hour imbalance and then see a reversal back up that's going to take out this buy side liquidity and reach out this monthly imbalance. Okay, so far we've taken this buy side liquidity, and overall we're just waiting for the price to reach this imbalance. So again, this week is gonna be bullish again. Let's see what I saw on a 4-hour time frame. So we've got this bullish candlestick that is shooting all the way to the upside, leaving this long wick in the market. So this is what's considered as sell side liquidity. Okay, this is our sell side liquidity, and most of the time this area is going to be taken out. This is why I have marked this as my beginning of this 4-hour imbalance, and this area right here, that is the end of this imbalance that has been left right here. Now, another possibility is here we have another fair value gap where the price has more potential to reach out and start reversing from here as well. So we either have this area for the price to reverse and go back to the upside, take this buy side liquidity, reach this monthly imbalance, or we can see the price basically just taking out this sell side liquidity, reaching into this area, because here we have this indecision candle that can be taken as a demand area. Okay, so we have a demand area, and right below that we have fair value gap. So this is why this whole area is my imbalance, because we never know in which area is more likely for the price to reverse. Both of these areas are equally strong. So whether the price is going to reverse is something that we can see only on lower time frames during the sessions. Okay, so again, we're waiting for the price to sweep this liquidity. We can even have a pull back to the upside. Probably here we can have any order block or supply area, which is going to push the price lower again to this imbalance. Okay, and then we can see the reversal of the price action. Now let's see what's happening on GBP USD, because this is very similar pair. As you know, or maybe you don't know, GBP USD and Euro USD have kind of the same momentum. So if one of the pairs has structure, the other pair is going to have the same structure, but probably reversed. And by reversed, I don't mean this type of reversed. Okay, so what I mean by this, if the Euro USD is moving like this, then GBP USD is going to be moving like something like that. Okay, so this is what we call smart money trap, or SMT. Okay, so they're moving in the same trend direction. However, one of the markets may have more clear structure on what's happening in the prices. And these 2 weeks, I've seen that GBP USD has created more structure than Euro USD. So this can be a pair that you don't really have to trade, but you can actually get some more confirmation when you're trading Euro USD. So far, what I see right here is that the price is already in an uptrend because we've broken these highs right here. Okay, so we have structure. Now this is another area, potential area where the price needs to take out before continuing higher. So this is something that's going to tell us if the GBP USD is going still up. So once we break this break of structure, so this buy side liquidity, this is going to be another confirmation that the GBP USD is going in an uptrend. However, on the other side, we have this demand area, or basically indecision candle or order block, what I like to call them. This means we can get the price reach this area, the same structure actually. So we have this buy side liquidity, the same thing we have in EURUSD. In EURUSD, we have monthly imbalance. Here we have supply area. So basically the price can actually break this buy side liquidity, reach this order block and start pushing lower. Now, from what I see, here the price is looking bullish, meaning even if we get a retracement back to the downside, overall the trend is still bullish. That means the price has to continue higher. Now, DXY is again pretty similar. However, now it's the opposite of GBP/USD. So now if you have an uptrend in EURUSD, this means you're gonna have a downtrend in DXY. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So far, this is our high, these are our lows. Okay, so here we have some supply area, which probably has been now reached. Okay, I don't know where exactly this supply area is. We have to zoom in, we have to go on higher time frames, which I don't really need right now. Okay, so let's say we have a supply area. What happens after that is that the price has created this market structure shift to the downside. Okay, so we have a market structure shift. So again, this is our high, this is our low. And when we extend the Fibonacci tool, we can understand if the price is actually respecting that. Okay, so price has reached this optimal trade entry, or basically the Fibonacci tool, and this golden area between 61 and 78%. And what happens after that is we have a sweep of liquidity. So basically our liquidity X. Then we have a market structure shift right here. You're gonna be able to see it on lower time frame. So let's go on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, sweep of liquidity. This is our highest point. Here we have this market structure shift. Market structure shift, and price is reaching back into these areas. And here we have actually higher time frame order block. We have inefficiency, another inefficiency right here. So the price is sweeping this liquidity and then moving back lower. So what can this tell us is basically that the DXY is currently in a downtrend. And what we can expect from the dollar index is for the price to reach some demand area, for example, let's say right here, and start retracing back higher because we have a lot of inefficiency here and here as well. Okay, so this is the inefficiency most likely the price is going to reach back to. So this is our weekly imbalance. So basically, again, we have this sell side liquidity, we have a demand area where in EURUSD we had monthly imbalance, we had buy side liquidity because it was the opposite market structure, and then we have imbalance below that area. So again, what we can expect is for the price to break this sell side liquidity, reach this demand area and give us confirmation that it wants to retrace back to take out this inefficiency and then continue the trend back to the downside. So overall, the DXY and GBP/USD are confirming what we are expecting on EURUSD, okay? And we can find pretty nice confirmations when we have a trade in EURUSD. So if we get the opposite correlation of the GBP/USD, then that's a confirmation. Sometimes we won't get that, so this way we're gonna go to the DXY index and find out if this structure is right or it's just a manipulation, okay? Now this is the market breakdown for this week. The structure is pretty nicely, so I think we're gonna have a pretty good week. And yeah, we've taken 2 slow weeks in April, but we have 2 more weeks and a half to fix that and come back on track as usual, okay? So as I always say, let's start the week and let's smash it.